out there today? This is Pete over at D.I.Y. Auto School. Now, we're here looking at some cans behind us with some paint cups. And inside those paint cups is clear coat out of those cans. And what we're talking about today, we are talking about paint matching, you might call it, and clear coating. I don't know if anybody realizes this, but the clear coat that you use is going to affect the paint matching that you are painting. Now this applies to an overall paint job, such as the car that I'm working on behind me. And you can see that car right there. It's a 1968 Chevelle. We just got done painting it, color sanding, buffing it, and I'm putting it back together, and it's really turning out slick. And then on the other hand, we could be talking about, for instance, a collision job. And when I'm talking about a collision job, I'm talking about a job like this, where you might have to repair this door in this corner, and then the repair goes out to here. But then on the other hand, to blend that paint, to match the paint, you got to blend it in to this quarter panel, and then you would have to clear coat the whole side of the car. So that's the type of collision job I'm talking about, or possibly maybe a bumper cover. Sometimes there's a lot of people out there that on the bumper covers, most people will take the bumper cover off of the car, paint it, clear coat it, and then bolt it back on. And then when they put the bumper cover back on the car, they're wondering why the paint doesn't match. Well, that could be caused by two situations. And one of them happens to be the clear coat that you are using.
Welcome to D.I.Y. Automotive School with my friend Pete and Minnie, the body shop girl. It's everything you need to know about cars and more.
Now that we know what we're talking about here, we're talking about clear coats and the chemical reaction toward possibly your paint not matching perfect when you are repairing that bumper cover or possibly that door, and you're blending the paint in, and then you're clear coating everything and this, that, and the other. But then when you stand back from it, it kind of looks like the section that you painted, even though you blended the paint, it kind of looks like that's got a little bit of a different color to it. And the reason for that is because of the clear coat that you're using. Now, from the manufacturer, of course, we don't really know exactly what kind of clear coats they're using over there, but a lot of the manufacturers, and this is worldwide, are using the PPG brand, which is over here. Now, I'm not here to advertise for these cocksuckers because I don't give a fuck, but for me to explain what I'm going to explain to you here, I have to show you the clear coats that are lined up with the cups that have clear in it. So what we're talking about again is when you're clear coating something, is that going to affect the authenticity of the color that you're trying to match or overall clear coat? Yes, it is. And I'm going to tell you why. Because all clears are not clear. Does that even make sense? Okay, let me explain it to you. Each individual company, and I got 3 companies right here, they make their own clears at their own factories. They use their own chemicals, and there are 3 different types of clear coats. All right? Even though these clear coats are for urethane, base coat, clear coat. They're all three designed from different companies, meaning they're all going to have a variance in the way that they mix their paints up at that factory. Now, if you look at each one of these cups here, you're going to see that there's clear coat. I'm going to use my little screwdriver as a pointer. You're going to see that there's clear coat in each one of these cups. And if you look real close, you can see that there is a different tint to each one of these clears. Let's look at the PPG clear, for instance. If we look at that clear coat, I'm going to take it away from the other two there and away from the can. There is a tint of possibly a yellowish color in that clear. And I would say that that is a crystal clear clear, but it still has the tint of yellow in it. I don't know if you can see that on the camera, but yeah, that is the clear coat that PPG makes. Now this is a Concept 2021 clear. That's a very, very good clear. It's a high quality, very expensive clear coat. And then we have a Matrix clear right here. And if you look at the Matrix clear, you can see that that is almost perfectly crystal clear. That's a crystal clear looking clear coat in there. And it doesn't show any yellowness. It doesn't show any type of discoloration at all. And it's almost exactly crystal clear, like if you were looking through a piece of glass. And then, of course, we have this clear, which is called Autobahn, which is made right here in the South. And you can see that this has a yellowish color to it right off the bat. And then besides being yellow, this one actually has a little bit of a haze to it. This has a little bit of a haze to it. And I don't know if it's because we're looking at the plastic cup or that it really actually has a haze. Because if I take this one and this one together, we can see that this one is clear, this one has a yellowish tint, and also the PPG has a yellowish tint as well. So you're probably telling yourself, my hand's going to do the talking because I don't want to move the camera in and out and back and forth, and you know, here's my head right here, so I can talk to you this way. But we're talking about this right here, so let's focus on this, and the hand will do the talking. So you're probably saying to yourself, what the fuck are you talking about, my friend Pete? Why are you telling us about clear coats? The reason I'm telling you about clear coats is because even though you get the paint and it's matched perfect, when you go to blend that fender or possibly clear coat that bumper and you're using a clear coat that is not crystal clear, like I was telling you about this one here, it's going to give it a different color of a tint. Do you see what I'm saying? So the clear coat itself has a lot to do with the variances of whether your paint's going to match or not. Now, I know this for a fact because I have researched and tested this throughout the years that I have been in business. I have actually taken fenders and doors, this, that, and the other, and I've split them in sections, and then I'd clear coat this section, clear coat, and you see what I'm saying? So, it is a fact, a proven fact, and I mean, you can see it plain as day right here, that the clear coat that you are using has a difference in you know, chemical, you know, what's the big fucking words I'm looking for here? Reactions to the way that your paint is going to look when the finished product is all done. Did you see how I did that there? Did you see how I pulled it out of the bag and gave you the real story? All right, so this would be our most expensive clear over here. This is our PPG brand. This is the Concept 2021, and that has a yellowish tint. 99%, 95% of all manufacturers in the world use PPG products. All right, I have mixed up the 2021 and several other clears, and they all have the same exact tint as what we're looking at right here. Okay, and then of course we have the Matrix clear, which is over here, and the Matrix clear is it's a high quality clear. All right, I use Matrix a lot. Matrix is a very, very good product. I would say probably 70% of everything that I paint in my shop gets Matrix brand clear. I hate to say that because I'm advertising, but it's necessary for showing you this. And then we have this clear right here, which is called Autobond, and this is Glamour Clear, they call this. And the thing about this, it's a little bit hazy, and it's a little bit foggy, and it's not as clear as this clear over here, and it's definitely not as crystal clear white as our Matrix. So out of these three clears, what is my friend Pete's, what would you say, I'm thinking about working on this car I have here. I shouldn't even be doing this, but what is my friend Pete's opinion versus expensive, next expensive, and then cheap? Okay, this is a $100 gallon setup right here. This is about an $85, $90 gallon setup, and that includes the hardener. And then you come up to the Matrix, and that's a $145, $150 setup, and that includes the hardener as well. And then, of course, the PPG, you're going to pay about $350, $400, depending on where the fuck you buy it, for a gallon setup. Now, this clear right here, it says that you can put 2 full wet coats and be done with it. I usually go 3 to 4 full wet coats. This clear right here, you can put 2 coats on this, or 3 coats, either way. This is a very thick clear, but this is a cheap clear for, let's say, if you're going to fix a fender on a car that you're going to sell at the car lot. Do you see what I'm saying? If you're going to, a scuff and paint job, this would be great. All right. The UV ray application of this clear isn't going to be as good as these 2 clears right here. They claim this is the best clear that you can buy. I think they're full of shit. All right. First of all, the PPG clear is very, very hard to color sand and buff once it's dry thoroughly. And if you color sand and buff it too soon, it still has a shrink time on it, and you'll fuck yourself in your ass and have to do it over. And then we got the Matrix clear, which is usually dry within 48 hours, 100%. Very easy to color sand, very easy to color sand and buff out, and is a mirror finish. And then this stuff here, to actually literally color sand this, you have to start out with 800 grit, 800 wet, and then work your way down to 1500. I think I've covered the situation here, and my opinion out of the clears that are the best clear to use, and I've been doing this for 33 years, that's a 3-3, all right, in business paying my taxes that long, and before that, but the one clear that I would use out of all 3 of these clears, if I was going to do collision repair or restoration, I would pick the Matrix, okay, due to the fact that it has a very, very clear substance. You can see that is like looking through glass right there. Looking right here actually is the same of almost looking through here. And I want to show you something else here. Watch. Oh, I'm sorry. All right, these are dry. They've been sitting for 10 days. All right. That's why I'm showing you this. When you look at these wet, you really can't tell. These are actually dry. They've been sitting in the cup for 10 days. And I wanted to show you that the shrinkage on these, if you look in the cup right there, there's no shrinkage at all. This is a very, very high solids clear for what it is. And then if we look at the PPG, it's the same way. Very, very high solids. There's no shrinkage or giveaway on the clear at all. That's dry as well. And then, of course, we got this Autobond clear. And believe it or not, there is a little bit of shrinkage on there. I would say that, I don't know if you can see it in there. Right on the edge here, it's starting to curl up. Let me get that out of there. Yeah, you see there? All right, I'm going to put this one right here, okay? And then we'll take the Matrix out of the cup right here. And then we'll set that right there, just to let everybody see the difference. And then we'll get the PPG out. Okay, and here's our PPG right there. Okay, so once again, you can see that the PPG does have a yellowish tint to it. You can see definitely for sure that the Autobahn has a yellowish tint, but you can see that the Matrix has a crystal clear look to it, like you're looking through a piece of glass. My choice would be the Matrix Clear. You can see how clear that is, and no shrinkage at all. I mean, it's a very, very good clear. I would pick the PPG second, and then of course Autobahn would be my last pick. I'll go ahead and stack them up, and you can see what we're talking about here. Let's see, that would be the first one. Here's our second one, and then that would be number 3 right here. So if you look at those all stacked up together, you can see that this is clear, yellowish, and then of course real yellow right here. This has a lot to do with the color variances in what would you say, not matching. All right, clear coat has a lot to do with your paint jobs. It's very important to use a high quality clear, but as we notice right here, the most expensive one isn't always the best one. Now, I started out by making this video because I do a lot of restorations here. And usually when somebody is restoring their car, they have to go buy other materials to finish it out because they really don't know how much to buy. So they're not going to go out and buy 3 gallons of clear and 4 gallons of paint and all this. They're going to buy what the paint guy tells them to buy. And if you look right here, you can see what I'm talking about. I always paint everything separately. It's very rare that I paint the car completely together, but there are times that I do paint the car together. But most of the time, I'll paint everything separate. And that's why I require a clear that's going to be crystal clear, because when you're painting this type of a color of paint that has a lot of pearl in it or a lot of metal flake, and you're painting everything separate, it's very important that you've got a clear that's not going to have a yellowish tint to it to make the variance in colors different when you bolt the pieces on. If that makes any sense at all. All right. The point that I'm making, the clear coat that you use has a lot to do with the finish that you're going to get and the color variance in between the panels that you're going to paint. Just like the paint, if you put 3 full wet coats on the car, make sure you put 3 full wet coats of paint on all the parts you're painting. The same thing goes with the clear coat. If you're going to use, let's put this right here. If you're going to use one of these clears right here that have a yellowish tint to it, that this different, and you go into the paint booth and you're painting your little parts or separate parts, and you're putting more clear on those than you are the car. All right, the other parts in the paint booth are going to have a different tint to it than the car itself. That's why a lot of people paint the cars all together instead of separate. So it's real important to use the same spray gun that you used for the clear and apply the same coats of clear to everything that you paint if you paint everything separate. That's about all I can say. I don't even know if anybody knew this about clear coat. And, you know, that's just a tech tip from my friend Pete over here at, what is this, Pete's Car Smart. There we go. To you, the viewer.
Time for Pete's Car Smart. Pete's Car Smart. Pete's Car Smart. Where even the littlest tech tips make a big, big, big difference.
I'm not advertising for these cock rings. I don't give a fuck about these people. They're corporate scumbags, but we need the corporate scumbag in the world to get shit done. I would rather promote Mr. Autobahn here out in Shreveport, Louisiana than these two fuckers, due to the fact that this guy here is a one-man operation and actually makes this stuff right there in his paint and body supply store. These two cocksuckers here, they can give one fucking rat shit about you and me, and if we even buy their shit, okay? So, anyway, we got the PPG right here, we got Matrix right here, and then of course we got the Autobahn right here. Another thing I want to show you, and I mean, you're not here to feel this. This isn't a feel-a-rama video and you can't feel it. But this clear coat here is real hard, all right? You can see when I break it apart, it doesn't shatter in little pieces. And just by the feel of it, it's like real hard, all right? And then if we come over here to the PPG, I guess I can try to, do you see how that is there? That's more bouncy and more pliable, kind of like a rubber ball type feel. All right, so you see what I'm saying? And let's see if we can break that. And this breaks really nice too, but this has more of a spongy feel. So this clear right here is actually a harder clear, okay? And then the Matrix, that kind of feels like the PPG clear It's more of a flexible clear, and it breaks apart very well also, but I would still like to use this just because of the fact that it's a crystal clear clear. And that's basically all I got to say about clear. I've been rambling on and talking and telling you about clear and saying, hey, this is my choice, this is what I'm going to use, and yeah, that's the situation we have about clear coats. There is actually other cheaper clears out there, but I will tell you, the cheaper in price of the clear that you get, the more shrinkage it's going to have, and of course it's going to be more yellow, all right, because it has less compounds of high quality stuff in it. So there you go. Clear coat does make a difference in color variances, and clear coat is a big important situation when it comes to painting your car, your bumper, your fender, your car parts, or whatever you're painting. This is Pete, my friend Pete, your friend Pete, telling you about clears and what they do and cause when you are painting your piece of whatever the fuck you are painting. We'll see you later.